Welcome back to GB Retrospectives. Last time I covered a visual novel. Now we're shifting over to a certain party fighting game. About a year ago, a new Super Smash Bros. Game was announced for the Nintendo Switch, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Man, it's still hard to believe it's already in our hands. So I figured for the occasion, I'd cover just that, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. While it is still rather new in its own right, it's already presented itself as a household name among the Smash community and the FGC, with what's currently in the game, as well as what's yet to come. Still, this video is probably not a surprise to anyone, seeing as Smash has been a huge part of my channel since it started. Regardless of that, let's get this shit started. Any Smash game is set to be bundled with plenty of bang for your buck, and Ultimate is no exception. I mean, one of the big taglines for this game in particular is the fact that everyone from every installment is here, along with some new fighters too. You have your fan-favorite characters like Mewtwo, Ridley, and K. Rool, third-party characters like Sonic the Hedgehog, Cloud Strife, Simon Belmont, and even Joker from Persona, eventually, as well as completely random and off-the-wall choices like a Piranha Plant? Fucking what? Everyone's favorite characters or past mains have returned, meaning that every playstyle is accounted for, so nobody is left out. With Joker, we'll be sitting at, 76 characters? And we have more to come? That's a pretty damn big deal, and I think some people tend to forget that. Of course, that's not the only thing, as there's 103 stages, each with their own battlefield and Omega variants, almost 900 music tracks, an actual classic mode, thank God, an adventure mode, and a lot more. Granted, not everything from previous games are back, like Break the Targets, Home Run Contest, Board the Platforms, Smash Tour, Target Blast. Well, it still sucks we don't have some of these. That being said, DLC is a thing, so it's entirely possible that some of these scrapped modes will return in some form in the future. Hell, it seems like some modes were hinted at a while back. So we'll see how that goes. I'll end this off by reiterating my earlier point. This game is stacked with content. One of the big things Smash has been able to do is maintain both a casual and competitive audience. And that's no small feat. You've got players who go and compete in the esports scene, and then you've got players who get their friends together and just play with some items on to fuck around. There is no real better way to play. Everyone has their own preferences. Some will play some items grudge matches with their friends and just play more single player content when running solo. And some just do both. For the more casual-oriented players, you have several solo modes, like an improved classic mode, World of Light, and spirit battles to chip away at, crazy items to enable that will ruin your friends' lives while you laugh at their suffering, and several challenges to complete, each offering various rewards. For the competitive players of the bunch, you have various different playstyles that suit different kinds of players, new mechanics to learn and take advantage of in matches, and several legal variations of stages to familiarize yourself with. And of course, there's other things that both kinds of players can appreciate, like the various quality of life changes to different characters, online lobbies that are much more reliable to play with other players, and a faster speed to make games go by much quicker. Now all they need to do is fix preferred rule set so you don't have to be paired with people doing free-for-alls when you're looking for a one-on-ones. Oh well, at least online lobbies exist, am I right? Replayability is something that Ultimate excels at, and while you could argue that the same thing could be said about every other game I've covered on Retrospectives, this is quite a bit different. Let me explain. You see, something that's important with fighting games is the number of hours people put into them. Competitive players will put hours upon hours into practicing, and trying to get the best out of their character, or characters. That's of course not counting the time they'll spend learning other characters in the roster just to see what those characters are capable of in comparison, while also seeing their strengths and weaknesses. Then you add on the time spent in tournaments, friendlies, and the time viewers of said tournaments will put in after seeing insert player here play, wanting to boot up the game and try and pick up insert character here. While casual players may not play to the same extremes as their competitive counterparts, they will definitely pull their friends together for some game time with friends, and if it's Nintendo related, Smash will come up eventually. It's obvious why a game like this has so much replayability. It's like the game to play with your friends. I mean, you get to punch your favorite Nintendo characters in the face. What's not to like? That's fucking metal, bruh! Anyways, this could be said for couch parties or just grouping up for some online play. Of course, there's also single-player modes to add in as well, which will definitely be a time sink in of themselves. This game has several levels of polish. Firstly, the visuals are stunning. I swear everyone was gushing over how amazing Smash 4 looked, and now Ultimate exists, which fucking trumps it in every regard. Not only is this apparent in the visuals, but in the sound design too. Both of these elements combined make everything feel so much more crisp than prior Smash games. God, that's so damn satisfying. Can we also talk about how every character is represented properly, to where even the clones, I mean echoes, make sense? Like, obviously they're all designed like you'd expect them to be, but the level of detail in these animations are ridiculous. Of course, this is barring some details made for gameplay reasons. Silly Robin, you can't use dark magic. Silly Robin. Now, I could go over some of that, but I'm pretty sure there's a YouTube series that explains all this kind of stuff in great detail, but I can't seem to think what it was. I think the only character I could point at and say,
"Conductor, we have a problem! Conductor, we have a problem! Conductor! Conductor, we have a problem!"
is Chrom. I don't know why, but he really does feel like the last character they added. I mean, he doesn't even have the Awakening Victory theme. The hell is with that? Regardless of that minor instance, everything else fits perfectly to a T. I should also say the same level of great polish applies to things like the stages, boss fights, music tracks, and what have you. While there are some problems that I do have with the game, like the preferred rules needing an overhaul, the lack of old single-player modes like Break the Targets, as well as the fact there still seems to be debate on what the concrete tournament legal rule set will be. The positives far outweigh the negatives. Now, if only they'd get Joker into our hands a little sooner, eh? Nintendo, please, I'm dying. Let me play as the boy already. Before we wrap up this video, I'd like to say that I have a special treat planned for Retrospective fans sometime this summer. But I won't go and spoil the surprise for you. I should also mention that I do have some more Smash content in store for the future. Kind of a big thing in my channel. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna play me some Smash. Goldenbrawler out.